shrimps. This is the final week before we break up for summer holidays. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun with dazzling dragons, knights and princesses this week. So there'll be a bit of castles and princes as well. So I've chose the first story. There's 3 stories actually this week. So we're going to have How to Catch a Dragon, and we're going to have 10 little princesses, and we're going to have one of our favourites. We're going to have this one. Fits in nicely with dazzling dragons because there's so many different dragons in this story. Now, if you look at the front cover, what can you see? There's a picture and there's some writing. There's a big word at the top. Zog. And that's the title, Zog. And if you look at the picture, you can see, what can you see? A bit shiny, this front cover. Yes, you can see lots of dragons. Should we count how many dragons there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all different coloured dragons as well. And some have got patterns on. What can you see on this one? There's a pattern. What kind of pattern is it? It's stripy, that's right. It's yellow and brown, I would say. Ooh, a little bit like, if it was orange and black, it would be like a tiger. But this one is yellow and brown. And, what can you see on this dragon here? Got something on him. I'm not sure if he's holding it or whether it's on him. He's got a superstar. It looks like a magic star on him there. And what's this on his head? What's that? Wow. It looks like a horn. It could be like a unicorn horn. Wow, we know unicorns have a horn. He's just got one horn. But then look at this one. How many horns has he got? 1, 2. He's got 2 horns on him. So all these dragons here on the front are different colours. This one looks like he's got a little bit of shiny, speckly white bits in. So they're all quite dazzling dragons, aren't they? There's something on this arm of the dragon. What does it look like, children? Yes, it looks like a plaster. Do dragons have plasters on them? Not usually, maybe. But why would he need a plaster on him, I wonder? Yes, because he might have hurt himself. And if we hurt ourselves at nursery, we sometimes give you a plaster, or you might have a plaster off a nurse or a doctor, or you might have a plaster off your mum's, dad's or family members who are looking after you. So let's find out who might give Zog a plaster. Oh, there's some more shiny bits down here on the front cover, and it's got a name. It's got 2 names actually. They are the authors' names, and the authors who wrote this story are Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler, and they're the same authors who wrote one of our other favourites, the Gruffalo, if you remember that one. So let's open it up and we shall have a little read and find out all about this lovely Zog. I think Zog might be the dragon in the story. Yes, I think so too. Let's open it up and see the pictures. And we can see the title again. Can you help me read it? Shall we sound it out? Zog. Zog. And here are some more dragons in the picture. Wow, look at that picture. Look at the size of those dragons, children. What can you tell me about this dragon? What size is this one? Yes, he's the really big dragon. He's the biggest dragon there. And what can you tell me about this dragon? Actually, I'd say maybe this one. Yes, he's a small dragon, and he's actually sat down They're all sat on a rock by the looks. Let's find out all about Zog. Are you ready? Madam Dragon ran a school many moons ago. She taught young dragons all the things that dragons need to know. So this is like the teacher. She's the teacher and she's teaching these dragons. They must be maybe at dragon school. We go to school to learn, don't we? These little dragons are going to school, dragon school to learn. Zog, the biggest dragon, was the keenest one by far. He tried his hardest every day to win a golden star. So the teacher must give out golden stars, and he wants to win one. That's why we saw one on the front cover, a golden star. Let's see how they can win a golden star, all these dragons. All the dragons in year 1 were learning how to fly. Hi, said Madam Dragon, way up in the sky. So she's trying to get them to go way up in the sky, to fly so high. Do you hear those rhyming words? High, sky, fly. They all sound the same at the end. That means they're rhyming. Now that you've been shown, you can practice on your own, and you'll all be expert flyers by the time you're fully grown. Ooh. So she wants them to go off and have a go, and they'll be able to fly once they've had a practice, because we know if we practice things, we get really good at them, don't we? Zog went off to practice flying fast and free. He soared and swooped and looped the loop, then crashed into a tree. Oh no, look, what's he done? He's bumped his head on the tree, poor Zog. He needs to practice a bit more, doesn't he, children? Just then a little girl came by. Oh, please don't cry, she said. Perhaps you'd like a nice sticky plaster for your head. So we saw a plaster on the front cover on Zog, and this is who gave it to him to make him better. Oh, look, she's putting it on his head where he bumped it on the tree. What a good idea, said Zog. Then up and off he flew, his plaster gleaming pinkly as he zigzagged through the blue. The blue is the sky, because look, it's blue in the sky. Wow, that's lovely. He can fly off now with his plaster. A year went by, and in year 2, the dragons learned to roar. More, said Madam Dragon. Louder, I implore. Now that you've been shown, you can practice on your own, and you'll all be champion roarers by the time you're fully grown. So she wants them to roar. Can you roar? Are you ready? Roar! Ooh, let's hear your roar. You roar. Wow, that's a very good roar. Zog went off to practice. He roared with fearsome force. He kept it up for hours on end, but then his throat grew hoarse. Hoarse means it doesn't sound very clear. It's a bit gravelly sound. He was getting a sore throat. Just then the girl came by again. She said, What rotten luck! Perhaps you'd like a nice soothing peppermint to suck. Oh, because he's got a sore throat. She's giving him a peppermint to suck on. What a good idea, said Zog. Then up and off he flew, and breathing fumes of peppermint, he zigzagged through the blue. What was the blue again? It was the sky, that's right, the blue sky. Off he goes. A year went by, and in year 3 the dragons learned to blow. No, said Madam Dragon, breathe out fire, not snow. Now that you've been shown, you can practice on your own, and you'll all be breathing bonfires by the time you're fully grown. Can you blow? Blow ready? Did you breathe out snow? Let's try again. Did you breathe out bonfires? No, because remember, we're not dragons. We can pretend. Zog went off to practice. He blew with all his might. He twirled around in triumph, and his wing tip caught a light. Oh no, children, look. So the fire he blew out, it came out of his mouth, which is what he wanted, but he set fire to his wing. Oh no, that's awful. I think we're good at blowing bubbles if we've got a bubble machine thing, aren't we? We can blow bubbles, we can blow whistles, and we can, things like that we can blow. Blow feathers, because they're very light. Just then the girl came by again. She said, "You poor old thing, perhaps you'd like a nice stretchy bandage for your wing." "What a good idea," said Zog. Then up and off he flew, his bandage flapping wildly as he zigzagged through the blue. Remember, it was that sky, the blue. All the year 4 dragons were learning. Can you guess? Yes, said Madam Dragon, how to capture our princess. Oh no, that's what dragons do, capture a princess. Now that you've been shown, you can practice on your own. You'll need to capture hundreds by the time you're fully grown. So they've got ones that look like scarecrows. Practice kidnapping and taking away. Ooh, but look at the picture. Zog went off to practice. He tried and tried and tried, but he simply couldn't manage. "I'm no good at this," he cried. "I'll never win a golden star." Then he saw a girl. "Perhaps," she said, "you'd like to capture me. I'm Princess Pearl." "What a good idea," said Zog. Up and off they flew, the princess gripping tightly as they zigzagged through the blue. Wow! Oh, she's a nice, friendly girl, isn't she? She's a Princess Pearl. "Ah," said Madam Dragon, "our first princess so far. Congratulations, Zog, my dear, you've won a golden star." Can you see? Zog wanted to win a golden star, and he managed to get one this time because he did what he was asked by his teacher. Zog was proud and happy, and Pearl felt good as well. She took the dragon's temperature and nursed them when they fell. So every time they'd fall or hurt themselves, she would be their nurse and help them get better, look after them. And that's nice. Oh, now she doesn't really look like a princess in those clothes, if you'd look. She has got something on that tells us she's a princess. Can you see what she's wearing that tells us she's a princess or a queen? It's on her head. What is it called? Can you see? What is it? Yes, it's like a crown. Sometimes princesses wear tiaras and sometimes they wear crowns if they're queens. So she's got more of a crown. Maybe it's a little crown because she's only a princess. Let's see what happens next. A year went by and in year 5 the dragons learned to fight. Oh no, because dragons like to fight as well. Right, said Madam Dragon. Here comes a real live knight. Hang on a minute. Children, what is a knight? You can see him in the picture. What do we know about a knight? Do we know anything yet? Did you say sometimes we find knights in castles? If we ever go to a castle, you might see a coat of armour. This is a knight's special metal covering and it stops anybody hurting his body. So it's like protecting his body. And it's made out of metal. So you can't really get a sword through the metal. The only parts you can see that are uncovered, those little bits there to look through, those are his eyes. Even the gloves would have metal in them so that they would not let any swords or anything get into their hands and things like that. They could still carry their sword to go and fight. And they'd have usually a really strong horse to carry them. And even the horse would have some armour on him, something to protect him as well. And maybe a little mask. A metal mask to protect him. That is a knight. Right, said Madam Dragon. Here comes a real live knight. Up spoke the knight. My name, he said, is Gadabout the Great. I've come to rescue Princess Pearl. I hope I'm not too late. So he's come to rescue the princess, because that's what knights do. They come and rescue the princesses and they come and protect everything as well from those dragons. Zog breathed fire and beat his wings. You can't, she's mine, he roared. Oh no, she's not, yelled Gadabout and waved his trusty sword. So look, they're having a little fight. He wants to keep it's Princess Pearl, but the knight wants to take her back. The other dragons crowded round and watched them all agog. Sorry, let's start that again. The other dragons crowded round and watched them all agog. Who was going to win the fight? Sir Gadabout or Zog? Who do you think is going to win the fight? Shall we see what happens in the end? I think Zog might win the fight. I hope he does. He's a lovely dragon, really, isn't he? Let's turn the page carefully. Then Princess Pearl stepped forward, crying, Stop, you silly chumps! The world's already far too full of cuts and burns and bumps. Don't rescue me. I won't go back to being a princess and prancing round the palace in a silly free dress. I want to be a doctor and travel here and there, listening to people's chests and giving them my care. Me too, exclaimed the knight, and took his helmet off his head. I'd rather wear a nice twisty stethoscope, he said. He wants a twisty stethoscope like Princess Pearl. Perhaps, Princess, you'll train me up. And Pearl replied, Of course, but I don't see how the two of us could fit upon your horse. Because he's only that big, can't fit them both on, can he? Poor horse would be hurting with too many heavy people on them. Then Zog said, "Flying doctors, I'd love to join the crew. If you'll let me be your ambulance, then I can carry you." "Bravo," said Madam Dragon. "An excellent career." And all the Year 5 dragons gave a loud, resounding cheer. "Yay! Hooray!" Then Madam Dragon told the horse, "I really hope you'll stay. I'll let you be my pupil's pet and feed you lots of hay." So the dragon wants to keep the horse. "What a good idea," said Zog. Then up and off he flew, the flying doctors waving as they zigzagged through the blue. Oh, look, so there's the flying dragon who's taking the flying doctors to go and care for their poorly people. What a lovely story, and what a lovely ending. They're all happy. Oh, and can you see in the distance there is a special castle? I wonder if that's where Princess Pearl lived and the knight lived. Maybe. The princesses lived in castles years ago. And that is the end of the story, Zog. Did you enjoy that story, children? Yes, I did too. I wish I could meet Zog. Do you think he's real? He's a pretend creature. Now I've got a little dragon here. There's a little dragon. And this week, in nursery, those who are in, we're going to play a game, and it's called Go-Go Dragons. So if you are at home, you might want to try and get this game. It's a lovely game. You're counting and moving the dragons and see which dragon wins. So that's a nice game. And do you know what else? I could hear so many rhyming words in Zog's story. There were so many rhyming words. So when you're reading it at home or listening to me reading it at home, you might want to keep pausing it and listening out for the rhyming words in it. And I was trying to think of lots of words that rhyme with Zog. And do you know what me and my little girl did? We went for a walk in the woods. And there was a little stream part, and there was some lovely little pebbles and stones. So my little girl wanted to collect them. And do you know what we did? We've been trying to write letters on them. And I said, "Can I use some of those pebbles?" And she let me have some before she paints them. And I have wrote a letter on each pebble. Can you see this one? Look at that. What is that? If I show you here. Oh, it's a Z. Z. Z for Zog. Zog's name begins with a Z. Let's see what other letter I've got. Quite hard to hold up all these. Ooh, look closely. Can you see? There's another letter on this one. There's are 2 letters. And then I wrote another letter. What's that one? A bit smaller. Zog. That's a G. Zog. Zog. I wrote Zog's name. They're on each different pebble. I can join them together. We've got Z. G. Zog. 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 Can you say those sounds with me? And can you then blend them together to make the word? Oh, it's quite tricky to hold them. Okay, let's have a go. Z. Zog. Just like when we use our sound talk down our arm. Watch. Z. Zog. So we can hear the first sound, Z, middle sound, end sound, G, Zog. And you know what else I noticed about the name Zog? There's other words that rhyme with zog? Zog, log, dog. They rhyme. And so I tried, instead of putting a z at the beginning, and then z, g. Instead of the z, I changed it. And I put, what's that sound? It's really hard holding these. If you've got a little board on the table, it's okay. I can't really do it on the table. Og. Og. Can you say the sounds? Og. Og. We've got dog, zog. Did I do another one? Let's put them together. I did. I changed the beginning sound again. What's this sound? L. L. Lick a lollipop. So we've got L, R. Hang on, let me try and hold these now. It's really tricky. L, R, G. Log. L, R, G. Log. You could try and write them down, couldn't you? Words that rhyme with zog. There's an activity for you to do at home. So, we had the story zog. We had our rhyming words with zog. And we've got a game, a counting game as well. But do you know what other games you could play? If you and your families make some stars, you could go and hide some around the garden and you could go and find them. And your zog looking for hidden stars. Or you've got to do some little jobs for your families and maybe they'll make some golden stars for you, and every time you make or do something that's amazing, you might win a golden star. So it might be that you're practicing riding your bike, and if you have a go at practicing and you get to ride your bike properly, you get a golden star. Or if you are practicing writing your name and you have a go and it's perfect, you might get a golden star. Just like Zog, he was practicing, and the more you practice at things, the better you become. And it might be that you're having a go at holding your pencil or your pen in your pinchy fingers. Pinch, pinch, put it in its bed. Look, it's in its bed now. Hold it tight. Other finger round. You've got 3 fingers to hold it tight. Then hold your paper. And then try and copy your name or write your name. Or use those phoneme frames so you write Z-Og, Zog. Have a go on paper. Right, so if you do anything like that, send me some pictures of your lovely activities and your work, and I would love to see them. And I'll try and email you back before the summer holidays. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Okay, so it's time for me to go, and I will go and find my other stories now and record those for you. Okay, I will see you soon, hopefully, shrimps, and time to go. Bye-bye.